Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you want to know some steps on how you can maximize your savings, then do stick around because this video is going to be for you. Before I get into the video, for those of you who are new here, don't forget to hit that subscription button. Also, click that post notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I make an upload. For the return subscribers, thank you for rocking with me so far. Remember to like, share, and comment on the video. You can also leave in the comment section suggestions of videos you'd like to see from me. Guys, please help me to get to 500 subscribers. Every month I'm setting a different milestone, and so far I have been doing good. I want to thank you so much. So to all of you out there, and let's get right into it. So the first tip I want to leave with you is to get serious about your savings. Yes, I've said it. Now, a lot of you are dancing, I'm going, where the money reside, where the money reside. But I want to ask you this, do you really have the discipline? Are you really committed to going where the money resides? Because if you want to make money, it's going to take some discipline at least. And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. But the coronavirus pandemic, it really made it clear that having a financial cushion is very necessary. So that is why this is our number one tip. And even if you're comfortable with where you're at now with your financial situation, there is still room for improvement. And for those who don't have a savings plan worked out, then maybe some of these tips will help you better in how you can get to a better place in your life with your money, okay? Adulting is not easy. I cannot sit here and tell you that I have it easy because I don't. And even though I don't have a child, there are people who have not only a child but children. And these children and themselves need to be fed. There are bills, expenses hitting you right, left, and center. And what makes it even more difficult is because jobs are being lost. Less hours are being given in the workplace. So you have to ask yourself, what can I do to make it better? Or what do I need to do differently? What could I have done better? You know, when you had the opportunity to. And I don't want you to get daunted by the reality of things, because even if you are at a comfortable position with your finances right now, it can get better. And if you're not at a place where you are feeling comfortable, then you can get there too. Financial advisors usually encourage is that you follow a 50-30-20 rule when dividing your take-home pay. And this means that 50% of your pay, that usually goes to the expenses, because that's the bigger amount that usually comes out of your pay anyway. Your rent, your car insurance, your gas, the food, all of that good stuff. And then 30% should be spent on recreation or entertainment, and then the other 20% is going to go towards your savings. Now, the good thing is that with the pandemic right now, a lot of recreation or entertainment is being put on pause. So maybe 50% can also be put to savings, or even 40%, but we're not going to push it, okay? Now, if you are someone who is just starting to save, jumping from 0 to 20 can be really daunting, okay? And sometimes downright impossible. That's why you have to set these goals. And in setting these goals, remember how I told you it's going to take discipline or commitment? So you can start and set your goal. So let's say for the first month you say, okay, I am going to save 5% of my pay. And you realize that you did it. You know, you reward yourself. It could be even with a glass of wine. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. And gradually, as you get comfortable, you can increase, okay? So, for example, you start by a 5%, like I mentioned earlier, in January, and then you increase that amount each month. So by December, you may have been starting to save up to 20%, 30%, or even more. You'll soon start to learn that savings is a journey. And even in Jamaica, they used to say, every little make a muckle. So you soon start to know that it's not about how much you can save right now. Like I said, don't get daunted. Just take your time, and gradually as you move along, you just increase that amount that you are saving. So every little will make much in the end. That takes us to step number 2. And step number 2 is setting a target before setting your budget. It may seem impossible, but it can be done. Now, setting your target before setting your budget, it actually means, now what you're going to do is, when most people create a budget, they start from saying, okay, this is how much I make, this is how much I'm going to take home. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away all my expenses, and then what is left is what I'm going to save. Now, that is almost like telling me you're continuing all your current eating habits when you're trying to lose weight, and that misses the point. You know what I mean? So instead, you're going to start with your savings rate, and the higher it is, that's the fastest that you're really going to build some wealth. What I'm simply trying to say is this: boost your savings rate to chop away the number of years you have to work. I've known people who retired even at 45, 50. I have a friend right now in Florida, he's retired. The first step that you want to do is setting your target rate. So let's say you're making $3,000 at the end of the month, and you know you want to save 50% of this $3,000. You know that it's $1,500. So you have $1,500 left to spend. This $1,500 is what you're going to make your budget from. So you're going to budget your expenses based on what you have left after you set your target savings amount. Okay? And it can be done, guys. It can be done. I am not saying you're going to set 50% as your target savings amount. Remember, do something that you know will work for you. And if you're choosing a lower amount or a lower percentage, just try to work gradually, month by month, in increasing this amount. Because the goal at the end of the day is to build your wealth. And we can do it. I know we can. Number 3 is automate your savings. Remember how I told you it will take discipline and commitment to do your savings? A lot of people, especially where I'm from in Jamaica, they'll do a partner, which is almost like a savings plan. Or it's not almost, it's a savings plan really, where different people pool their money together in a bank, and at the end of the month or the end of the week, someone gets that amount, and it continues until everybody gets their share out of the pot or the bank. Now, that way helps a lot of people to save. Or you can put your money aside yourself in the bank. But if you don't have the discipline or the commitment, what you can do is automate your savings. So you set up with your bank account. So instead of relying on yourself to only spend a certain amount, get the money out of your checking account before you can spend it. So an automated recurring transfer can take place every time you get paid on a payday. So you get direct deposit, and within 24 hours there's an automatic transfer to your account, like your savings account or whatever debt you're trying to pay down. Remember that saving more money is a behavior problem. So whatever method that is best for you to put aside some money, use that method to the best of your ability. Step number 4 is house hack, and this is using your house to eliminate some of your monthly expenses. Now, housing expenses is one of the most expensive ones that you have to deal with monthly, but one way in which you can reduce this is, a lot of times you may have a child or children, they went to university, they moved on, they moved out, and you have more than enough rooms. You can rent this room out and use that money to help pay off your mortgage. If you don't like the idea too of a permanent housemate, another way in which you can use your house to generate income is to list it as an Airbnb, because that way is another way in which you can generate funds, and these are very popular nowadays, and occasionally it will bring some extra money into your pockets. Okay? Tip number 5 is getting rid of a car. Yes, the second most expensive thing here is maintaining a car. Maintaining a car is probably the second most expensive thing that you have to do monthly. The cost of buying gas, doing repairs, you know, insurance, everything that is considered into having a car. So let's say you have a spouse or a significant other, both of you have a car. What you could do is get rid of one of this car and only focus on one and having one to maintain. You could, I know it might seem difficult because you have different work schedule, but you can work out something with your partner as to how best you would get to work on time and get back home on time. Because if it is that you have to leave half hour earlier, then that's just what you have to do, because saving is going to be a need, you know. And sometimes, depending on where you live, it's easier and cheaper for you to just walk to work or team with someone else, you know. And then there are options of carpooling or using public transportation. Again, with the pandemic, public transportation may be a no-no, and it's a little bit iffy, but they are things to consider. And I'm just trying to let you know how you can go about maximizing your savings like I do. And although I've given you 5 tips already and is coming to the end of the video, there are other ways in which you can maximize your savings. It may include cooking dinner more at home, cutting some subscriptions that are not necessary or they are not needed, narrowing down your phone plan, starting a side gig, DoorDash, YouTube. I mean, you have a lot of skills and talents that you are sitting on. Share it with the world, and YouTube is a great place for you to do that. There are different side gigs too that have minimum startup costs, maybe a cleaning company, whatever it is. And I have a lot of friends too in Jamaica who are teachers or trained teachers like myself. With the pandemic now and with schools being canceled or face-to-face interaction, you can offer tutoring services, you know, one-on-one sessions over Zoom with a child or children, you know. So that too can help you to generate more money in your pockets. There are different ways, you just have to think creatively. I have a friend too who she's now making interactive books for kids. Kudos to you, Miss Anna. You know, there are lots and lots of ways, people. So the pandemic has taught us to be creative, so let's get on it. We can do it. I know we can. Maximizing your savings rate is not going to be fast. It's not sexy, and it's definitely not easy. It's the opposite of a get-rich-quick scheme, but it's worth a try. It can be done, and it's what is needed to start you to build your wealth. Not only will it start to build wealth, but it's one of the most reliable ways to build this wealth. You're going to have to find ways to pay off high interest debts. You're going to have to automate your savings and investments. There may be times where you will even have to reinvest. But in all that you do, make sure that you focus on the fundamentals. It takes money to make money. And the first place that you're going to have to source this money is from your own savings. Believe it or not, even with the banks, if you go to borrow money and they look in your account and there's no money, the chances of them lending you some, it's slim. Because they want to know that at least you have some money that if you don't pay, they can take it from. So it's gonna start with you. What are your favorite ways of saving money? And what do you plan to do with the money you save? Do you have a long-term goal or a short-term goal? Whatever it may be, I wish you all the best and all the success there is. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Remember, like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you like this money talk and you'd love to see some more, then let me know. Because at the end of the day, money talks and BS walks. But I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.